गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः. Yesterday we saw the life of Sant Eknath Maharaj, and we told that Sant Eknath was the great-grandson of Saint Bhanudas. And who is this Saint Bhanudas? And in the long list of the saints of Maharashtra who were devotees of the Lord Vithala of Pandharpur, what you call, every night the kirtans would be going on, and especially on the Ekadashi day, the kirtans and abhangs and the kathas, they will reach their peak, and these saints, as we told yesterday, they would congregate together and sing profusely, and they would not want to stop continuing it for 2, 3, 5 days. If freedom was given to them, they would not stop and get immersed in the name of the Lord and losing all body identification, totally at one ment with the Lord. And and one day what happened when this was going on, all the devotees were singing, the murti of the temple vanished. When they came, there was no murti. And where has our Panduranga gone? Why has he left us? And such was the consternation, and people started crying, complaining. Now what are we going to do? And at that time, the Bhanudas, nobody knew him of that he was so great. But at that time, Bhanudas came and he said, I will go and look for the statue. And he went out in search of the deity. Eventually, he finds it. And this great Bhanudas, Saint Bhanudas, eventually to be called, was born in 1448 in Paithano itself. And he was the great-grandfather of the great Saint Eknath. Bhanudas, as we see among all the saints and sages, they are ferociously independent. They don't want to be tied down by anyone or anything, whether they are married or not married, or with parents or without parents. But they are fiercely independent. They do not compromise their freedom for anything. You look at our Swamiji also, very, very independent. If unko nahi karna hai to nahi karenge, and you can't impose it on him. And same way, when he was merely 10 years old, Bhanudas, when he was merely 10 years old, he was scolded by his father, and and when reprimanded in this manner, he ran away from home and hid himself in a cave, in a jungle, not far from their house. Not for 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day or 2 days. For 7 days he did not come back home. Only 10 years old. And at that time, one Brahmin who was going around collecting wood or something, he saw this young boy sleeping with his head on the feet of the Lord, and he came and told his father, and the father came and to bring him back. And the young Bhanudas, he had to go. He could not live as much as he wanted to live by himself, he could not. And after persuasion by his father, he came back to home. And and when you see these type of symptoms in a child, nowadays in a grown up, but the children are going out of the hand right now. So what was the thing? If someone is staring at the fan, if staring into the sky, and staying alone, not chirpy as usual, चलो भाई इसकी शादी कर दो. So at that time, at that 10, 11 years old age, they said this fellow is going out of hand, and that time the custom was to get married at young age. So they got him married to a young girl, and they married, and immediately after the marriage, Bhanudas lost both his parents, and all responsibilities fell upon him, and he was, from within, he was gravitating towards kirtan and bhajans, and as a result, his household duties, no interest in household duties, no interest in wife and children, and they were starving, and he was busy singing bhajan and kirtan. ऐसे हमारे संत महात्मा थे. Hello, how are you? Hare Krishna. It was you who I saw in the way, not today.
Yes,
Ah.
They both are studying in the same class.
Acha, they are in the same class.
Yes.
Okay. So you also got a present today.
Yes.
Ah. And seeing the bad condition of Saint Bhanudas and his wife and children, some of the people there, the elders of the town, those who were well off, they collected 100 rupees. In those days, 100 rupees was a lot of money. And they gave it to him to subsist himself and start some business of some sort. So Bhanudas started buying cloth and selling it in different places, and he became more successful than them. And when you become successful, all others who were coming with him, they became jealous. How comes this fellow is more successful? We have to teach him a lesson. Because of us, he became what he is today, and this, that, and it goes on. And they always look for some opportunity to put him down and show that he is successful only because of them. And that is okay, he is successful because of them. But they wanted to show that they wanted to destroy him, basically, in very simple words. And one day, all of these merchants, because in group there is security. So there were thieves, dacoits. So they used to go in groups, and when we were young, we will see that you could give your old utensils and you will get saris, and thinner utensils you will get. So from Maharashtra, from Karnataka, from Tamil Nadu, these people, and they will be all coming in group. They will all go in different directions in one society, and then go to different buildings, do their business, and then go away. And in this way, all these merchants, they were going together. They stopped at a dharmshala and for the rest. And suddenly Bhanudas ji heard that there is some kirtan bhajan going on somewhere in a temple. He said, friends, I'll leave all my material, my cloth material with you, and I'll go for the kirtan bhajan. They said, oh, we got a good opportunity. And they took all his cloth and put it into a ravine or into a river, and they let his horse loose, and he ran away. But as they did this, any action you do, there is a consequence. So good action, bad action, resentful action, benevolent action, there is a consequence. And these fellows who had done all this, at that very moment, a gang of robbers came. They beat them to thrash them nicely, and took everything that they had and went away. And when Bhanudas came back, there was nothing with them, and very soon they searched and they found his cloth, and the horse came back, and Bhanudas ji, he sold his cloth and gave the money to all his friends, and kept a little bit for himself. And in this way, it showed how his heart was. And and he went home, and somehow with whatever money was left over, he was subsisting with his family, but continuously singing the name of the Lord and thinking about him and seeing. This is one beautiful thing about all the saints of Maharashtra. They come to have the bhav, namaskar. They come to have the bhav that the Lord is in everything and everyone, not only in the temple. Oh, I thought another one come, so I said, please come sit down. Huh? And when one day the king of Vijayanagar, they say this king of Vijayanagar, Ramdev Rao, he was probably our Hampi from that. And that time already the Muslim kings had started coming, and anything they saw beautiful, any temple they saw, they had to destroy it and break it down and everything. So when he saw this beautiful statue, he said, oh, they will come and destroy this, so I will take it and keep it in a safe place. And in the night, he liked the statue, so he took the statue without asking anyone and took it to Vijayanagar, and and took it back when and this is how we started the story, that when they went to Kirtan, Murti of the Lord was missing. So Bhanudas reached Vijayanagar and found there his Vithala Murti, and it was locked in not in a temple but in a cage, so that nobody can reach it. And with the prayers and kirtans of Bhanudas, the Lord returned to Pandharpur by himself. The locks opened by themselves, like our Krishna, when Krishna was born, and the Lord Vithala came out, and as a result, Bhanudas fell at his feet, and Lord embraced him. So, and he placed his own necklace garland around the neck of Bhanudas and told him to be patient and wait until another day. When the morning came, the priests found the golden necklace in the neck of Bhanudas. They found the necklace from Vithala missing from the Murti, and they told the king's men, and the king men came, and immediately it was proclaimed. At that time, the same thing happened to Kano, one of the lady saints also. I think it was Kanopatra. Janabai, to Janabai. And it was proclaimed that they will put a shul and till death. So it will be, they will put him on top of that shul. And in this way, and when this was proclaimed, Bhanudas is not afraid of death, but he's saying that I am going to go away without having your darshan, O Lord. What is this? And he kept crying in anguish, and that the Lord had deserted him, that was he going to die without seeing the Lord and having his darshan? And he, in his abhangas that are composed, he said, I don't care whether I am alive or dead, but I'm sure you will not give me up, and let the world explode, and whether you come or you don't come, still you are mine. And in this bhav, he kept singing the Sankirtan, and as the soldiers were taking him to the base of the Shula, and the king told the executioners to do it quickly and get over with this whole thing. And at that time, Bhanudas, now what is the situation? Is the last moment. Next moment, the Shula is going to go into him, and at that time he lost all sense of everything, and all he could see was his beloved Lord Vithala, and the whole universe permeated by him. Even the people, the soldiers who were coming to take him to and going to persecute him and put him on the Shula, they also appeared as Lord Vithala. The Shula appeared as Lord Vithala. Everything was Lord Vithala. And then he saw that Shula itself was Lord Vithala. And in this manner, Bhanudas closed his eyes and saw Pandurang Vithala smiling before him. And thereafter, Bhanudas Saint Bhanudas approached the Shula with joy, as if he went and embraced the Shula. Other people may be thinking, what is this mad fellow doing? But he is seeing Vithala there, and he is hugging the Shula. And at that very moment, the moment he hugged the Shula, the moment the soldiers who were the executioners, they got hold of him, the Shula transformed into a beautiful flowering tree, and its branches flowing down, and with beautiful fragrance and lots of bees. And this miracle, the king was flabbergasted, the soldiers were flabbergasted, and the king ran to Bhanudas and fell at his feet, and saying that I did not recognize how great a devotee of the Lord you are, O Bhanudas, and please don't curse me, please bless me. And in this manner, all the people there who were congregated, I don't know why people enjoy seeing the killing of someone, and this has happened everywhere, Europe also, India also. And the king arranged for the murti to be returned to Pandharpur and decided to accompany Bhanudas all the way to Pandharpur. And thereafter Bhanudas blessed the king and composed a few abhangas in the glory of Vitthal Panduranga, and what is that? Singing, the gist of it, that is that Pandurang has come back to Pandharpur in that sense. And in this way, all the bhaktas and all the people, because he had told them, I'll go and get the murti back. So all of them were waiting, and now everyone gets together, and this is the small and short story of the Saint Bhanudas, who is the great grandfather of Eknath Maharaj. Yesterday we told you of another person who is connected to Eknath Maharaj, and that was his Guru Maharaj. Who was his Guru Maharaj? If you remember, Janardan Pant. And this Janardan Pant was the chief of the fort, and he was well versed in science, in archery, in weaponry, and sadhana, and yoga, and a great devotee and friend of, say, Lord Dattatreya. And he was, as much as he was accomplished spiritually, as much he was accomplished materially. Wealth was also there. And such Janardan Swami, originally he was a Deshpande, and he was born in 1504 in Chalisgaon in the Deccan. Apart from a thorough Brahmin education, and Brahmin education is what? Study of Shastra, study of discipline, of all discipline, a regulated life, a life based on asteya, brahmacharya, ahimsa, etc., etc. And in this way, these 10 tenets of yama niyama are followed by the Brahmin. Not today, huh? Today's Brahmin are eating meat also. So, but they wear the thing and say, we are Brahman, not them. And at a very young age, and also he was a great administrator and a great horseman. And he was married to 2 young girls at a very young age. And these young girls were very virtuous. And after his parents departed, usually it happens when a saint comes, because his fire to know the divine is so intense that no one can stick around. Probably it is a blessing. And we see all the Mahatmas, right from Jnaneshwar Maharaj, then with Eknath Maharaj and everyone, their parents pass away at a very early, while they are still young. And here also we see Janardan Pant's parents, they also pass away. And once they have passed away, the young girls, his wives, and now we have to feed them, he has to maintain all the responsibilities came on his shoulders, and he started becoming busy in the worldly affairs. On one of his tours to Ankalakopa, where while resting in a temple, he had the vision of Lord Dattatreya, and who came to him in the form of Narsimha Saraswati. And who was Narsimha Saraswati is the great saint who was living in Narsobawadi. You know where Narsobawadi is? Narsobawadi is on the highway between Pandharpur and Kolhapur. There is only one road going all the way. And there on the banks of the Krishna river, today also you will see the Padukas. And when the full tide comes, the river comes up so many steps and washes the feet and then again goes back. Till today it happens that way. And there is no big temple or any, there is a temple, but main attraction there is that the Paduka. And there is no cover, nothing. It's just in the open with a small cover like that. And the Padukas are there and a priest is always sitting there. And very, very powerful place. You must go to these places. And who is this Narsimha Saraswati? Narsimha Saraswati is, first it was Shripad Sri Vallabh. You have heard of Shripad Sri Vallabh? Dattatreya avatar. That same Shripad Sri Vallabh then was born as Narsimha Saraswati. He lived only for a very short period of time. No, he lived for short period of time. And then he vanished. And then he appeared after 300 years as Akkalkot Swami. All the three avatars are Dattatreya only. So Shripad Sri Vallabh from Kurvaipur or Peeth, Karveer Peeth, I think. Is that what it is called? Kuravpur. From there. And then Narsimha Saraswati was born in Karanza Lad. That is where he was born. And Akkalkot Swami was discovered in Akkalkot. Akkalkot Swami lived for almost 82 years. And in this way, our Janardan Swami, he met this Narsimha Saraswati, and he initiated him in the spiritual life under a banyan tree. Or banyan tree is called Vatavriksha. Vatavriksha, they come in the Audumbar family. Audumbar family is the fig tree, the banyan tree, the peepal tree. These all come under the Audumbar family. And the quality of the Audumbar family is that the seed is very, very small. And it is not born. You cannot take the seed from that is fallen on the ground and take it and plant it somewhere and the tree will come. It will not come. It has to go through the digestive tract of a bird. Only then once that treatment has been gone through, then only it is, it germinates. Otherwise it doesn't. And under such a tree, and it is very, very, in Australia also we are finding them now. They're growing a lot of neem trees and banyan trees in Brisbane and all, and Cairns, a lot of trees they are growing. So Narsimha Saraswati ji initiated him, and he remained with him for some time doing the tapas and meditating on Dattatreya. And there, living with Narsimha Saraswati ji, he composed a lot of abhangas, and not abhangas because he wants to compose them. No, it came out of the pining for the Lord in his heart, and as a result these words came out. And then after that he returned to Chalisgaon, and he settled all the affairs of the Deshpandes and took his family along to Devgarh. Devgarh is the fort where Eknath Maharaj found him. So he took there, and where he was under the Nizam's rule, and the Nizam was living, Ahmednagar was also under the Nizam that time. And under his rule, the lawlessness and conversions and destruction of the Sanatan Dharma and the temples and ashrams and conversions, this was rampant. And he was very, very disturbed. And but still, seeing the prowess and capability of Janardan Pant, the Muslim king, he made him the administrator of that fort, and gave him the responsibility to take care of the fort and protect it. And in short time, Janardan Swami, being the good administrator that he was, all the staff, all the soldiers, all the people living around, all the farmers, all the various artisans, everyone started making income, and there was as if Ram Rajya has come under his rule. Everyone was happy. Everyone was content. Everyone was prosperous. And in this way, and everyone, because under his rule this is all happening, all of them started looking up to Janardan Swami. And in his, yesterday we saw that because he was so great, the Muslim king, the people of that area, even though they were Muslim, they started keeping the Thursday as a free day, because that was his Guru Day. Dattatreya Maharaj is remembered on Thursdays, and that is popular all over the planet right now. And in this way, and every day he will do his work, he will go into his temple, and he will go, and there he has a cave. I think that cave is still there, and he used to sleep in that cave and meditate in that cave, and he had two things with him. That was Jnaneshwari on one side and Amrutanubhav on the other side. These were the two granthas that he was absolutely well versed in. So if Mahatmas are reading such texts, we should also spend some time contemplating on them. And in this way, and as the time, and he used to feel that not only he has studied Jnaneshwari and Amrutanubhav, but we told you yesterday that he used to converse with Dattatreya Maharaj in human form. He used to come every day to meet him, and that was also there. And as he carried out his duties of protecting the people and taking care of the fort, he came across many people, and many people became his disciple, and among them were Muslims also, Hindus also, and he, unlike other Swamis, he used to wear his royal clothes. And he had a big beard, and he had open long hair, like the Bhishmacharya of our Mahabharata, like that. And apart from that, he also had a coat of arms. He also used to have armor, always ready for any eventuality. And we saw yesterday, when he was meditating, Eknath Maharaj took that armor and fought with the enemy who had come to conquer the fort. And and all that ability he had transferred or taught our Eknath Maharaj also. And in this way, he had three main disciples. One was Sant Eknath, and who is very well known, and the others were Rama Janardana and Jani Janardana. Eknath came from Paithana, and once he was initiated by our Narsimha Saraswati, 12 years afterwards, Eknath Maharaj came to him. It's almost like a prasad. When you do a 12-year, one tapas is equal to 12 years. So as a prasad of the tapas, Eknath Maharaj came. And served him, Eknath Maharaj served him, and that story we have seen yesterday, and he did tapascharya along with him and everything. And Jani Janardana, who came from Bida, followed his guru to Devgiri, and Rama Janardana of Middle Khandesh took charge of the needs of the Swami. So he used to be like a sevak next to him. Eknath Maharaj was too fiercely independent. So Eknath accompanied Janardan Swami on a pilgrimage to Nasik, where they met with a Brahmin named Chandrabodha. Remember yesterday Chandrabodha? What did he do? He and Janardan Swami listened to the 4th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad, and they were so moved that Janardan Swami then said, Eknath, I want you to translate this in the local language. And there and then Eknath Maharaj sat, and in 3 days he rewrote the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavad in the local Marathi language. And eventually the Eknathi Bhagavad that we see is all in the local language. And that was this Chandrabodha. And he was devoted to Sri Krishna, and they discussed Bhagavata. And then Janardan Swami asked him to write the Bhagavat in Marathi. The old Brahmin came to Devgiri, and when he died, that old Brahmin meaning our Janardan Swami. And when he died, they built a memorial, and that Samadhi is still there in the Daulatabad in the fort. On Eknath's request, the great Swami came to Paithana to join the celebration of Gokulashtami. And this was when Eknath Maharaj went back to Paithan. Yesterday we saw, and he had already written a letter to his parents who had requested that please ask our grandson to come back. He is the only person in our lineage. We want the lineage to continue, and so on. And in this way, on that particular day, because our Eknath Maharaj and all other Mahatmas, they used to have Kirtan Bhajan. Every festival is only an occasion to sing and lose yourself in the remembrance of the Lord. And on that day, he had invited Janardan Swami also, and he blessed his dear disciple, whose sacrifice and love and goodness and connection with people and concern for people made him one of the most popular saints of Maharashtra. In the last days of Janardan Swami, that Pandit who died was Chandrabodha, not this one. And in the last days, Janardan Swami traveled extensively all over the south, he visited various pilgrimage centers like Mallikarjun and Rameshwaram, etc. And sometimes what he would do is he will use his spiritual powers and travel in the spiritual body. Physical body doesn't have to go. And you will say, oh, how is this possible? This is possible. You have to, first you have to control the breath, and then you have to dive into the mind. Then it is possible. And in this way, he used to travel and covered many places in India merely by going in his spiritual body. Now you hear our Adi Shankaracharya. You have all heard of Adi Shankaracharya. You know how many times, how many years he lived? 32. For first 16 years, he did not travel at all. Only did his sadhana, and at age 16, he was told he is going to die. His body is going to go. So he went to, not Kashi, he went to Badrinath. And there he was ready to give up, waiting for his body to die. And Ved Vyasji came, and he said, why are you here? You look like a bright young boy. He says, I have been told that my body is going to die at this age, and today is the day that I am going to die. He says, forget it. You got a big job to do. I give you another 16 years. But now you don't live for yourself. Till now you have lived for your perfection. Now you live to uplift the humanity. And in the next 16 years, Adi Shankaracharya wrote all the bhashyas of the various Upanishads, Gita, etc. Composed so many things he composed, and he re-established the Sanatan Dharma by propagating Vedanta, Advaita philosophy. And similarly, but what my point I was making was, Adi Shankaracharya, in those 16 years, how many times he traveled all around the world? Tirupati was established by him. Sharda Peeth, all the 4 Peethams were established by him. Kedarnath, Badrinath was established by him. Gangotri, Yamunotri was established by him. Sharda Peetham, which is now in Pakistan, it was established by him. So many places, all famous places, were consecrated by him. He was instrumental. How could he travel in 16 years and do so many things? Think. There were no maps, there was no GPS. He traveled all the way to Kailash also. How did he do it? Out of the body. Travel. And similar was this Janardan Swami. His life was, he was a yogi par excellence, and he was not a yogi who will live in a cave and be withdrawn from the world. He was a yogi in action. Another yogi who is in action was our Saint Ramdas Swami, Shivaji's guru. He was also a yogi and an active yogi. Out there, totally, if you read his Das Bodh, he gives you the technology or the technique of self-realization, and he gives all the paths are covered in that Das Bodh. All the paths. But he is very clear that whatever path you may use, eventually you have to come to Vedanta in Das Bodh. So here our Janardan Swami, he is also has followed the path of Vedanta. He has followed the path of, if you read Amrut Anubhav, it is nothing but the what is that one and who is that one, that you are that one and nobody else. Don't look for it anywhere else. It is you, not as this body, not as this breath, not as this mind, but the essence. And when you look at from that essence point of view, there is no body, there is no breath, there is no mind, there is no intellect, nothing. There is only that one truth alone. And when that dawns, it is Aham Brahmasmi. As long as you see duality, you are missing the point. Once you have realized, then in spite of the duality, you do not lose the oneness of vision. And in this way, the Janardan Swami's Abhangas, they were full of devotion, and they had the flavor of the yogic practices and the yogic existence that he was living. And a very rare, you don't see anyone else like that apart from Jnaneshwar Maharaj. He was a yogi and he was a Jnani. Here Janardan Swami is also one like that. And in this way, whatever Janardan Swami did, he did it with integrity, knowledge, art, and full of powers of his great intelligence. And his very presence, just like any other saint, the presence of the saints is very beneficial, it is very healing, it is very fulfilling. And anyone who comes in their presence, which we have seen, you have come across any saints, Mahatmas in your life? I'm sure you have. And whenever you are in their presence, your mind automatically becomes zero. All your questions become null and void. A smile on your lips automatically comes. a wakefulness. Either there is a meditative, fall into meditation, or if your eyes are open, you're fully awake, and you don't understand what is going on, in the sense that where is this energy, where is this wakefulness, where is this alertness coming from? Other times at this time I'm sleeping, but now in this, and the moment you go away from the Mahatmas, again the same thing starts happening. But when you are in their presence, you feel an infusion of energy, an infusion of, and that energy and wakefulness is not because of anything but your mind becoming calm in their presence. Mind is energy, mind is life. And when that life is free of all agitations, and you experience your agitations only by way of thoughts. So when those thoughts, like in sleep, your thoughts have become calm and quiet, but you are unaware of that. But when you are in the presence of Mahatmas, you are awake, you have not gone to sleep, you are awake, and your thoughts have subsided to a large extent. And that, just like when you go to sleep and next day you become energetic to work for, how many hours you work? 12 hours. 10 hours every day. Huh? And he doesn't complain, then he comes, then he has to go to Tesco, then he has to take the car, the son says, drop me here, drop me there. Then he has to do other things. After 8-10 hours of work. See? But we need, every night we need to go to sleep to rejuvenate and recharge ourselves. Why? So that next day again we are able to perform all those. We need that energy. Imagine at any given moment that energy is abundantly available to us all the time. That is saints and sages. You don't have to sleep. And therefore Bhagavad Gita says, when the whole world sleeps, the yogi is awake. And when the whole world is awake, yogi is asleep. Meaning what? When the whole world is asleep to the self, to the Paramatma, the yogi is awake to the Paramatma. When the whole world is awake to the world, the yogi is asleep to the world. That is the meaning. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि अच्छा दुनिया सो रही है, योगी योगा कर रहा है, ऐसे नहीं. And in this way, Janardan Swami was such a great master. To him, people came from all walks of life, whether they were business people, whether they were Brahmins, whether they were Kshatriyas, whether they were householders, whether they were sannyasis, whether they were brahmacharis. Everyone found something to learn from or some guidance from Janardan Swami, and he abundantly imparted his wisdom to one and all. And in 1575, he took Mahasamadhi and concluded his life. And in this way, this is another story of two saints connected to Eknath Maharaj. अभी भी टाइम है. We'll look at one more saint and then we'll conclude. And that one I want, in my mind is coming again and again, and that is our Gora Kumbhar. Where is it? Gora Kumbhar. Once, when the land of Maharashtra was flooded with countless saints and devotees, and all of them were singing the glory of Vitthala, Panduranga Vitthala, and that time all these saints are there. We saw on the first day Nivrittinath, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Sopandev, Muktabai, Janabai, Namdev Maharaj, etc., etc. All of them that was the golden period of Maharashtra when all these saints were there. At that time, there was a 3-year-old. He was this Gora Kumbhar was born in 1267, and he was 3 years older than Sant Namdev. So Gora Kumbhar is 3 years older than Namdev. Namdev is 3 years older than Jnaneshwar Maharaj. 5 years older than Jnaneshwar Maharaj. And he's 8, therefore he's 8 years elder to our Jnaneshwar Maharaj. Gora Kumbhar enjoyed, that was his profession. Name says Kumbhar. Kumbhar means the pot maker. And he used to make the pots. So what is his job? Every day get some mud, soft mud, collect the mud, bring it and tread it with his feet every morning. Just like you people get up in the morning, brush your teeth. Before brushing your teeth, you put your laptop on. Same way, Gora Kumbhar, he will get up early in the morning. First thing he will do is put the water in the mud so that it gets soaked, and by the time he is done his brushing and all the morning duties, the soil is all wet and he starts tramping it. And why he has, and there is a pit in which he does. Why he has to do it? So that the mud becomes soft and malleable, so that when he uses that mud on the potter's wheel, he can give it a shape. You can't just take any mud and give it shape. It has to become very, very soft and malleable. Just like you can't take atta and make a chapati. You have to knead it. You have to leave it for some time. If you knead it immediately, you make chapati, it will start cracking on the corners. So you have to allow it to leave it for some time till it matures. And once it matures and the water and everything has become, and the flour has become one, then you take it and then it is so nice and soft. Similarly is this the way of making the clay used for making the pots. And therefore he sang the name of the Lord, and wherever he goes, the only thing that on his lips used to be Jai Jai Panduranga Vithala, and that was the name. And in this way he remained dancing, clapping, singing, and he did not care about time, he did not care about duties, he is making whatever he is doing, he is fully immersed in the name of the Lord. And who is he? Only a potter. Has he studied? No. Has he got any education? No. This is the grace. I see her daughter here every morning or every night. Now she will start when she is going to sleep, and involuntarily all the bhajans she has learnt, she will keep chanting. The Ganapati Stotram, she will keep chanting. Some Bobdi, in her slang. The words are not coming out correctly. And where she doesn't know, but it goes on, but the lie is there. And automatically it goes on, and when she goes to sleep, she doesn't know. In the morning also, she does the same thing. And so beautiful. And this is... Now, did anyone teach her? They tell her, don't do this, and she will do it. But the God's name, automatically, nobody tells her that you have to chant all the mantras at night. She does it. And the God was so gracious on Gora Kumbhar that he lived in body disidentification and continuously at one ment with the Lord, and that is where his bliss emanated from him. And people also knew that he is a great master who is ever intoxicated in the bliss of the divine. He taught also Namadeva, as did Namadeva's guru. The God manifested in all creatures and all things, and for him there was no difference between the God and the world, and in this way, and in all these saints, they did not feel there is a difference between them and the other saint. All of them felt one and the same. And a very good example that comes is, as long as I keep telling you that, this is a beautiful chocolate. This was made in Switzerland, and the Swiss chocolates are the best chocolate. And the moment this young girl listens to the word chocolate, I brought her some chocolate. And this is a chocolate. There are different colors. There is white, there is dark, there is no chocolate color. She's very, very interested. But where is her interest? On the chocolate. And I'm giving her the Vaidehi, how the chocolate is made. For some time she might be interested, but her interest is in eating. So I'm telling her again and again, this is how the chocolate is made. This is how the seed, the thing comes, and then it is processed. And she's saying, but open the packet. And eventually, and I said, you understood what chocolate is? She says, yeah, I understood, but I want to taste. See?
Swiss or Indian, give me the chocolate.
Huh?
Either Swiss or Indian, give me the chocolate.
Give it. It doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to put across is, talking about chocolate is not equal to experiencing chocolate, isn't it? But then she took out the chocolate, and their mummy is screaming, only one, not two, only one, not two. And eventually she put it into her mouth. After that, I want to continue the story of chocolate. Do you think she's interested? Because she has direct experience of chocolate now. She doesn't care which factory it came from. She doesn't care which country it came from. She doesn't care what ingredients have gone into it. She is experiencing the chocolate. So, taking the name of the Lord, reading the scriptures is good, but until unless we don't experience the Lord, the scriptures, and what are scriptures teaching? The self. Gora Kumbhar is such an exemplary master, where he, who is continuously chanting the name of the Lord, has experienced the Lord in his heart and mind. And as a result of that union with the Lord, his body disidentified. And he's living like that all the time. Not only sometime, all the time. And one day he had, as usual, not one day, as usual, he had gone mad with the joy of taking the name of the Lord. And at that time, the wife came out and he had a small baby, just not even 6-7 months old. And the wife said, I have to go and get some vegetable from the Kirana store. You take care of, and the child is sleeping. I'm putting him on the cot, and you just keep an eye. Panduranga Hari, Panduranga Hari, Panduranga Hari. Oh, and she goes away. And in the meantime, he is lost in his Sankirtan, and he is dancing. Panduranga Hari, Panduranga Hari, Panduranga Hari, Panduranga Vittala, 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 Vittala. And as this is going on, that small child suddenly learns, and that he has to learn at that time only, how to come down from the cot. And he comes down from the cot and he sees his dad dancing away in the pit, where the soil is becoming, he's tramping on it to make it soft. And the child goes in, and the dad is totally oblivious. He doesn't see the child coming, and the child goes into the mud, comes under his feet, completely trampled, killed, dead, broken into pieces. No, the father doesn't know anything, and the mother comes and she sees, and the moment she sees, where's this, our kid? He's not on the charpai. Where is he? Looked here, called nowhere. Suddenly she saw blood in the pit. And she said, oh my God, what type of a husband have I got that who can't even take care of one child? And I don't know anything. And she started screaming and wailing, and she said, you took my child, you have to bring it back. You ask your Vittala to bring my child back. I don't know anything else. And in this way, and when Gora was, he came out of his reverie, he was lost in the God's name. Suddenly he hears all this screaming and shouting, and when he come to realize that under his feet his own child has been killed, he tried to comfort the mother, but the mother was, which mother will accept that? And she said, you and your Abhangas and your Lord's name and your Vithala, fee upon them. I don't want to know anything about it. I want my child. And give me a promise right here and now that, and I'll, because he used to love Vitala, she says, take the promise or take the vow of Vitala that you're never going to touch me again and going to bring my child back. And as days passed, Gora's wife repented the curse that she had given her own husband, and what was the curse? Not to touch her ever again. And the child was the couple remained without a kid for a long period of time, and then afterwards, because of the distress and the continuous comments by the people in the area that they were living, the wife brings Gora Kumbhar to her parents' place, and they start and arranged for him to get married to her younger sister. That was the practice at that time. That if you can't, and why is she doing that? Because she has cursed him that if you touch me, either he is going to die or she is going to die. And Gora Kumbhar agreed, but he did not touch her. The sisters were dejected and thought of a plan to cause him to break the vow. And both of them placed their hands while he slept, so that they touched their sides and woke him up to show him that since he had forsaken his vow, he would now resume the normal life of a householder. But Gora Kumbhar would not move away from the vow he has taken, and Gora, he never told untruth, and because his wives told him that you touched me while you were sleeping, he chopped his own fingers away. That was his commitment to the truth. And in this way, as a last resort and desperation, both the sisters and their husband finally decided to place the case before Shri Vitthal in Pandharpur, not in front of a king, in front of Vithala, on the Ekadashi day. And as they entered the temple in Pandharpur, Gora Kumbhar, he felt enveloped by grace and bliss of the Lord. Just what we were talking before, when we come in the presence of the Mahatmas, that is what we feel. He felt the same thing. He forgot his problems, he forgot his fingers, he forgot his child, he forgot his wives, and with a loud roar, he started chanting the name of the Lord and started dancing there with no fingers. And he is singing away and dancing away. At that time, Namadeva was conducting his kirtan with other saints and saints there. Jnaneshwar and Namdev, who were they were also there, and all of them joined in with Gora Kumbhar, and Gora Kumbhar joined them, and it reached such a climax that the whole temple vibrated by the sounds of Vittala, 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 Vittala. And Gora Kumbhar prayed, "O Lord, you are the only thing that I have. I got nobody else. I have never lived for anybody else. Not for the world, not for the children, not for the wives, not for this body. Therefore, no hesitation in cutting off the fingers." He says, "I have not lived for anyone else but you. You are my only support and my everything. And who else should I go to if I don't come to you? Whom should I talk to if I don't talk to you? Whom do I request if I don't request to you?" And in this way, all the saints at that time prayed for Gora in their hearts, and Namdev Maharaj, he increased the tempo of the Sankirtan, Hari Vittala Vittala Panduranga, Ramakrishna Hari, and this way it went on, and they all forgot their troubles, and they saw only their beloved Vittala dancing with them at the same time. And in this way, see, some places, what story I have read before is that while chanting, तुमने कैसे सुना है? The child comes back or not? How does he come back?
By walking.
Inside the temple.
चलो देखते हैं अभी यहाँ पे कैसे आता है कि नहीं आता है. And all of them were crying, and while the chanting is going on, singing is going on, slowly, the fingers of Gora Kumbhar, they grew back to be normal in that Sankirtan itself. And the Namdev, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, and all the saints, they were surprised at the surrender and devotion of Gora Kumbhar to the Lord, that the Lord blessed him to be whole again. And now Gora's wife prayed to Vitthala, show us what we should do, because now he has already, the curse was there, he has cut his fingers, now he is free to touch, no? So she says, please have mercy, and Pandora showed his grace by producing her dear child. Immediately in that Sankirtan itself, the child is brought back by the Lord himself, and he came crawling and alive from the altar towards his mother. See, all these things we may say, oh, this is in 12th, 13th century, do we believe or we don't believe? We don't know if it happened or it did not happen. This is the lack of faith that is in our heart. All this is recorded. The burying of the Jnaneshwar Maharaj taking Samadhi is recorded by Namdev Maharaj. The fingers growing back again is recorded. I just met one person in Pune a few days ago, 2022. Swamiji was telling me about someone, and I went to Pune and I found out where this lady, she was 93, 94 years old. Her name is Mrinalini Joshi. And she has a son, I think sannyasi name was Swami Atmananda or something like that. So I have her biography also. She used to take children classes, she has met many Mahatmas, and as a tribute to the Mahatmas, one day when she was in meditation, Muktabai came and inspired her to write her life from her point of view. So you have, I don't know if those who are Marathi, have you read the book called Muktai? Muktai? ऐकलंय, वाचून बघ. अरे, first book I read in Marathi was that one. Just now. I never read Marathi. Mrinalini Joshi. She's a saint. Married and everything. I went to meet her in a room, 2-bedroom apartment. Someone took me, वो अपने कोतवाल जी. And she, at 92 or 93 years age, she kept me engaged for 3 hours. 3 hours she is having satsang with me. And then she said, now I'm tired. Immediately lay down on her bed. And when she's talking, she's not talking like this. Ekdam, Pete, ekdam straight and bright eyes and jokes, full of jokes and laughter. And then she gave me a set of her books that she had. what she has written. So what is that? एक स्वामी थे ना जो ऐसे करके बैठते थे हमेशा, शंकर महाराज. तो she has written the जीवनी of Shankar Maharaj also. Very beautiful. ऐसे 3-4 किताबें हैं उनकी. Now they have found that she's written almost 15-17 books. We know only few. So read her biography sometimes. And Muktai to you must read. Muktai is Jnaneshwar Maharaj's younger sister, Muktabai. How she saw life. We always see the life written from some commentator's point of view, isn't it? Here, she is writing from Muktabai's point of view. And she's saying, I am going through this, I am experiencing this. So this story where the kacha ghada, pakka ghada, it's not as a third person. She is saying, I decided now, when I looked at him, this is the thought that came to me, that why is Azoba like this? Because for her, Namdev Maharaj was Azoba, a grandfather sort of age. So she's speaking in first person. And in this way, the mother, Gora Kumbhar's wife, immediately thanked Lord Vitla and embraced the child. And it was the same child who had passed away has come back now. And with great gratitude, Gora spent his days singing the name of the Lord and dancing in ecstasy. Now even more reason, because Lord has made his family complete. Inadvertently, the child had gone away, and now by his grace, it has come back. By Lord's grace, it has come back. And he reached the heights of realization in which he saw and felt the oneness infinite of creation in Brahman, Brahmatmaikya Bodh. See, all these Mahatmas which you see from Eknath Maharaj to all these, we see that they are singing the name of the Lord, but they are established in Advaita. They are singing the name of Vithala, enjoying, doing kirtan, saying kathas, but they are inside themselves, they are established in the non-dual truth, the Paramatma. He had true realization, for like all those who have reached that state, like Jnaneshwar Maharaj and his brothers, Nivrittinath, Sopan Dev, Muktabai, Namdev Maharaj, Visoba Khechara, and Swata Mali the gardener, he was unable to describe that state. They all wrote what they are experiencing. Gora Kumbhar was so absorbed that he could not explain. Jnaneshwar Maharaj has written Amrit Anubhav, a big treatise on what his experience of realization is for the benefit of others. Gora Kumbhar could not. Ask him, he will not be able to speak. Maunam Vyakhyat Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam. Dakshinamurti is another Dakshinamurti. Can't speak. He is so in tune. He is so lost. And in this way, a devotee cannot describe the bliss of Brahman, just as a dumb man cannot express the sweetness of the sugar he is tasting. So when her kid had the chocolate in her mouth, how is it? No sound. Only bright, sparkling eyes, because the chocolate is in there and she's parked it on this one side, and she's just going, it is going from here to here, and she's enjoying the chocolate. No words coming out. I remember when we were kids and we used to get the barfi, not like today, go to shop, buy anytime, eat anytime, रोज खाने के बाद कुछ मीठा चाहिए, पहले नहीं होता था. We used to get barfi only on special occasions. It was expensive. Khoya was expensive. So whenever we used to get the barfi, we used to eat little and make it last as long as possible, isn't it? Same way, saints sing the name in such a way that they make it last as long as possible. And this way, he's tasting. So, this is the words of the Gora Kumbhar. He was also known as Goroba Kaka. Gora accompanied Jnaneshwar and other saints on their pilgrimage to the north and later was present at the Mahasamadhi of Jnaneshwar. And in this way, the story of Gora Kumbhar. If you see, you can go to YouTube and you can see the movie also. A very nicely made movie, and you can see the subtitles. Those who are not understanding Marathi. So with this 3-4 saints today, we conclude today's session, and I think next week, what are we doing at your place? Devi?
अध्यात्म इन देवी महात्म्य
अध्यात्म इन देवी महात्म्य, वो क्या होता है? Okay.
Ragaji has directed.
So let's see.
Definitely now the advaita concepts, right? If not with Devi Mahatmya, about advaita.
Take some text. Easier to take some text.
Yeah.
Not
Then
just
you
to-
select Swami.
We'll see. Okay. So next tomorrow is the retreat, 2 days, and then at your place evenings. So in this way, may all the Mahatmas' blessings be upon us. May they come to us again and again in our life and bless us. Because there's nothing greater than blessings of Mahatmas. Our life suddenly takes a different turn for the better. And that turn is not to, if it is to achieve something in the world, if it is meant, it will come. But whatever happens, your mind comes to be at peace when Mahatmas come into your life. This is a foregone fact. And let that blessing be there. And the way they love one and all without any selection, may that type of love emanate in our heart towards one and all. May we not resent anyone. May we have that vision of oneness, that one is in all and all is in one. And that is the ultimate vision of all the Mahatmas. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.